Okay, we're back. Sorry for that cut off. I reached my limit on my video time. So we're back here at December the 21st, 2019, with the sun in the center of the Golden Gate. Jupiter is in the arc. Mercury, the messenger, is in the hoopah. Now, what we're going to see is on December the 25th, and we're going to get this lined up so you can see it. Okay, there we go. We can see this. This is what they call a wedding ring eclipse. And this is December the 25th, Jerusalem time, 1940. This happened inside of the arc of Sagittarius, or the bow. And for those of you who have not seen my videos on this sign, there is so much packed into this sign here. It's unbelievable. You have the sun being eclipsed by the moon inside of the arc as Jupiter. Let's look at this positioning. If we look here at this line, if we scroll back, and let's consider this the deck of the bow, or the boat. Okay, the bow has a deck. And these lines from Caus Borealis to Polis, let's call this the deck, the front of the boat, or the arc. And if you look, it's just unbelievable, because Jupiter is literally standing on the deck in the position where the captain of a ship would be. And he's guiding the ark along the Golden Gate. And if you look here, this is like a river or a sea of stars within the heavens, and the boat sails along the sea. And there's a representation here in Vela and Kartna, which is the boat and the sail. And this sign is so powerful that last year at this time, I was 100% sure that this was our day. And the letdown that I had, it took me months to get to a point where I could even grasp why it didn't happen. And as a watchman, I just kept digging, and I kept praying, and I kept asking for insight into what this was. And around April or May, I watched a video from Paul Begley, and it was about the Great Conjunction. And then I watched a video of Steve Fletcher's, and it was about the same thing, that Steve was actually, I believe, showing one of Paul's videos. I believe. I may be wrong, but it was in spring or early summer. And it tied me into what I was seeing with this betrothal code, because the betrothal code ended after this year-long period of this wedding rings. And so what we're going to do now is we see that there's a wedding ring eclipse. We have a wedding ring. And then what we have is we have 6 months later, we have the sun and the moon coming together again for another wedding ring eclipse. And this just is too much. Now, from Jerusalem it didn't align, so you'll have to go and find the location. I believe it was over China and Indonesia that we got the other wedding ring, but it was considered another wedding ring eclipse somewhere on the planet. Exactly 6 months later. So now what we're going to do is we're going to go to Esther 2. And this solidified it for me, because I've been doing a lot of research in the book of Esther and looking for the wedding codes of Esther, the wedding codes of Ruth and Boaz, and the wedding codes for Jacob and his two brides. And what we're looking at here is, remember how I was speaking of a 1-year betrothal period. And so I wanted to find other places in Scripture where we would see this prove out in Scripture. So here we are in Esther 2:12. Now, when every maid's turn was come to go into King Ahasuerus, after that she had been 12 months, according to the manner of the women. For so were the days of their purifications accomplished, to wit, 6 months with oil of myrrh, and 6 months with sweet odors, and with other things for the purifying of the women. Okay, so we have here a 6-month code for myrrh and a 6-month code for sweet odors and other things for purifying. We know that we're talking about a purification of 1-year period with 2 broken up periods of 6 months. And we literally see that in the heavens with these 2 wedding ring eclipses. And the heavens are declaring the Scripture literally to us right here as you see this in stellarium, all we have to do is look up and the scripture is coming alive. So, what we need to do is we need to now look at the end of the betrothal period. And if we see the end, the end is literally a full eclipse. There we go. It's a total solar eclipse. Now again, I don't know if this is going to happen in Jerusalem. I'm not exactly sure. I'm going to have to go do my research and bring that in the next video. But I believe on December the 14th, there is a total solar eclipse somewhere on the planet. And this makes this the end of the betrothal period. And it's an exactly 354-day period, which is a lunar year. And also, which solidifies it for me, is the timing is from mid-Hanukkah to mid-Hanukkah. If you go do your research and look up December the 25th, 2019, it's the middle of Hanukkah. Go look up December the 14th, it's the middle of Hanukkah. Both of these were eclipses. And there are brothers and sisters who have posted online, I believe Tori Renshaw and other people who have posted online that they were supposed to go look into the eclipses and that the eclipses were going to help us decipher the code. And so when I heard that, it solidified it for me, because we need other brothers and sisters and their information to help us to come to a full completion and understanding of the scriptures. So what we're seeing here is the end of the betrothal period, and the signs are powerful. So let's dig deeper. So the first thing that we want to see is at the end of this betrothal period. Let's scroll back slightly. For those of you who are versed in Mazzaroth, what we're looking at here with this line of the leg of Ophiuchus, and then this line coming off of this point here would be the other line of the leg of Ophiuchus here, and it sort of lines up with this star here in the crab's claw. And in between this area is considered the huppah. And this huppah area is, you can see here this flap here, it looks like a little tent. And this area is the protected place. And this area here is like the marriage huppah. And this is where the bride and the groom go to solidify the marriage. And this sign is just absolutely powerful to me, because what we're looking at here is on December the 14th, in the middle of Hanukkah, the sun and the moon come out of the huppah. They're on the line together, like they're exiting the huppah together. The marriage is complete, and we are seeing the messenger right there to be a witness. This is the witness right there of the event. And we see, if we saw, remember last the last year, the sun and the moon were here in the ark, and Jupiter was on the top of the ark, and they had already passed the Golden Gate. They had just passed the Golden Gate. Well, in this one, they're about to enter into the Golden Gate. And we see that on the 25th was our day in the last year, which is essentially the birth of the sun. And in ancient cultures, the December the 21st was the last day of fall, which there wasn't really 4 seasons in ancient culture. There was really 2. You can see that in scripture. There was just summer and winter, and winter didn't start until December the 22nd, and so 21st was the final day of summer. And at least from my perspective and my understanding, 2 seasons, summer and winter. The sun went into the grave on the 22nd and then rose again on the 25th, and this is where we get this pagan custom of the sun rising from the dead. And I believe it is an ancient way of expressing to us what was going to happen with the Messiah. And if you look, there are many, many, many people, watchmen, who do this Mazzaroth work that believe that Christ, the seed, was planted on December the 25th. And then almost 10 months later, you would have 911 being the birth. And it fits, it works, it fits into the code. And so I don't see the Christmas thing being the enemy as much as what he's done with the story, because it's been corrupted so bad. Now we go and we spend an ungodly amount of money on idolatry, complete idolatry, and all of these things that we've turned into idols are where the corruption is. It has nothing to do with the sun and the moon and the stars. They're telling a great story, and that story needs to be understood from the body of Messiah. We should understand these things. And the enemy did this so that it would be corrupted, and that we would be afraid of this, these signs. And so what I'm showing you today is the sun and the moon coming out of the huppah at the end of the betrothal period. And we all know that 7 days later, Jupiter and Saturn go to war in the heavens. This 7-day period, I believe, could be our week-long 7-day wedding period, where we go to a special secret chamber for the wedding feast, and it fits with the code. We're coming out of the huppah on the 14th. We go 1 week to a special, undisclosed, secret location away from the enemy and his angels, and we come back after a week, and we go to battle in the heavens, and we cast Satan and his angels out of heaven, because now we have taken his place, and we are involved in helping the angels to cast the enemy out of the heavens, and on the 21st, Satan is cast down, and this is shown to us in the war in heaven. For those of you who have not seen my videos on the war in heaven, you should go back and take a look at those. This is the Revelation 12, 7 through 9, shown to us in the heavens. So I'll be back with more on the 7th trump. Thanks for watching.